Hello everybody out there on YouTube land. My name is Tyler. And as the title of the video may suggest, this is kind of a random spur of the moment, 1 year update since I stopped dieting video. So what's with the video? What is going on with me at this point? Why am I even making this in the first place? Well, to be honest with you, a lot of people when they stop dieting, and myself included to an extent, when they stop dieting, they pack their pounds back on. I'm not exempt from this for the most part, but I've kind of found a way to balance that out and also stop myself from, getting to the point of putting everything back on that I just lost. Now at this point, right now today, as I sit here before you, I'm somewhere between 245, 250 pounds. About 5 pounds up from my last, about 5 to 10 pounds up from when I last talked to you. To which most of you say, oh good, you're putting the weight back on, yay. Kind of. It's a little bit, I'm putting the weight back on. Because I'm reintroducing foods to my diet that I had taken out of my diet for so long. Another part of it is, though, I started doing things other than just going for a run or being on an elliptical to better myself overall. Like, I'm pretty sure if you compare a picture of me as I sit here now compared to the picture you have of myself from 2020, you would see, at least as far as I can remember what it looks like, my face is roughly still the same shape, still the same thinner shape than what it was. I've got a picture of my archive. Hold on, let me just, I'm gonna pop, hey Scooter Knight, pop it up here. This is what I was probably my heaviest. One of these pictures right here. Gross. But the reason why I think I'm up 5 to 10 pounds from what I was this time last year is not for a lack of trying, but because I've been trying too much with my new regimen. And also, like I said, reintroducing foods into my diet that I had exiled. Like, when I started dieting back in 2019, I basically ate nothing but eggs, salad, super lean meats like turkey meat and 93% lean ground beef. And even then I didn't have that until recently. And that was about it. But I've started, over the last year I reintroduced foods to my diet that normally would be a bad idea, but I've also kind of determined a threshold for bad things I can eat still. Bad things I can eat still, by the way. That as long as I don't go over as much of it over the course of a week, I just level out. I stay where I'm at. I mean, hell, I've got an example right here. I've got a huge bag of Reese's Pieces. This will last me about 2 weeks. And I eat these. Wouldn't have ate those 2 years ago when I was dieting. Wouldn't even entertain the thought of buying these 2 weeks ago. But the big thing is, like I said, I changed up what I do. Right about the time... Right around the time I made the video last year about my weight loss update and weight loss progress, I purchased a copy of Ring Fit, the Ring Fit adventure game, which I'm pretty sure kind of became a phenomenon that most of you are aware of. And if it works right in editing, you're seeing some of the footage here behind me on screen. But I played that game, I play that game. I play the game daily at this point. Right now I alternate. Well, I should rephrase. I alternate between heavy workout days and light workout days just so I don't hurt myself. Like, I've got... My right knee is pretty much a bump knee, right? It's kind of a bump knee some days if I try and do heavy workouts day after day, like one right next to another, where it's basically like I've got arthritis in my right knee. I can't squat down because the muscles are so sore in there, or the bones are... There's no, nothing between the bones to cushion anything because I've worn them out from doing my heavy workouts so frequently. But I basically alternate between days. If I do a light day, which is general workout, all the muscle groups in my body minus running, and then add a run into it for the heavy days. And on my light days, I burn 150 calories. On my heavy days, I burn almost 500 calories. So it's more or less just keeping up with a workout regimen that will help burn off excess calories you don't need. Even right now, where even on days or weeks where you don't go and do anything, to at least try your best to stay on a workout regimen of some kind to help burn off excess calories. Because without that, without something to help you burn off those excess calories, you do just put them back on. Now, I don't speak for everybody, but for what I know, people who lose an excess amount of weight, like I have, from what I know, they hit their goal, which I have for the most part. I'm about 15, 20 pounds over my goal, but I plateaued, so I'm not going to push it any further. But for a lot of people who hit their weight loss goal, for all the hard work they did, working out, eating the right foods, all that stuff, shortly after they hit their goal, they just go right back to what they were doing for their food, their amount they eat, the foods they eat, and everything. They just go right back to what they were before they lost all that weight, and, zero out all the work they put forward. I'm not saying I have it down to a science, again, because I just showed that giant bag of candy. I don't have it down to an exact science, but I figured out roughly what I can buy per grocery trip where I still stay around my same weight range without compromising what I'm allowed to eat anymore. Like, I use the example of what it was back in 2019, the week before I started dieting, which was the first full week of May. I was eating either 3 Hot Pockets or a frozen pizza every day, eating probably a pound and a half of burger or something, or a meal mix with burger in it. We're talking like 80% lean burger in it, so something like that for dinner. Eating half a bag of potato chips, flavored potato chips, just regular potato chips, fried, whatever kind. Basically anything that wasn't pretzels. And in that mix was still chugging down 6 cans of soda, high end for that in a day. And I didn't move. I didn't do any exercise either to help offset any of that. I basically just downed all the food I could and sat like you see me sitting now. And then I just changed my mind on it, and that's what I did. So now when I go buy stuff for myself, yes, I still do buy the excess amount of food. Well, not the excess amount of food. I buy the food I will eat, but I also heavily limit what I buy for myself. I will say, I have like 1 soda a week, 1 to 2 sodas a week in comparison. And even then, it's not technically a soda. Like right now, the main thing I do drink is those Coke with coffee sodas, which are like half the calories of a can of soda as is, which is fantastic. But I drink it mainly because I got myself addicted to energy drinks during the holiday season recently. That's a story that I can't really tell, but just know I spent a lot of time eating or drinking a lot of energy drinks to give myself the energy to push through stuff. But now I just have those really to offset any caffeine headaches I have. But other than that, I haven't bought sodas. I haven't bought any sodas in the past 2 years. Minus once or twice. I haven't bought anything Doritos, Lay's, any potato chips like that. I've bought pretzels, but pretzels are probably like, other than chicharrones or, oh god, what's the other name for them? Pork rinds. Other than chicharrones and pork rinds, pretzels are probably the best food you can have for yourself. That is still technically considered a chip. Because with all those, but regular potato chips, there's so much extra saturated fat, and the flavoring is like something in it that adds in, basically the effect of high fructose corn syrup, like a soda would, that really just drags you down and not only makes you lethargic, but it also, because of how they're set up, it encourages you to just keep eating them. But something with like a pretzel or pork rinds, you know, yeah, it's salty as hell, but there's like no carbs in there, no saturated fats. It's pretty lean in comparison. When I buy meats, I still buy the leanest meat I can possible. I still buy turkey. I still buy ground turkey. I still buy 93% lean hamburger meat. I still buy with the thought process of I need to watch my calories. I need to watch what these things do with my calorie count. I need to balance this all out so I don't go right back up to 360 pounds like I was 2 years ago when I started dieting. But also the amount of those foods I buy. Like I said, I'm bringing it out again. This bag will last me about 2 weeks. If it lasts me 3 days, well, that's tough. I just don't get these for another 10 days. I hard cap myself on what I buy when I go to the grocery store now. And that has helped me so much when buying things, because I'll go through the aisles where my old comfort foods were, you know, like Ritz crackers. I like how I'm calling out name brands, but I like, you know, the cracker aisle, the cereals, the candy aisle. You know, I'll go down all these aisles and be like, oh man, I would love to have this. I would love to have that, love that, have that. And then I stop myself in the middle of that process and I go, do I really need that? Is that really going to provide me the caloric intake I need for how much or is it going to provide me the dietary need of calories that I need, or the dietary needs I have for the calories it's going to get me? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no, it's not. So it may be in my hand and I'm looking at it and I go, maybe not. And I put it back on the shelf. Now, why do I go through and tell you all these things that I go through when I buy groceries? Why do I go through this whole process of telling you all this here? It's mainly to help people it's mainly to help those that want to follow my footsteps of my weight loss and follow the steps of my weight loss that I've done and help keep the weight off. What knowledge I have, I'm trying to spread to other people so they know roughly what to look out for. And roughly what to do when they get to the point of they want to start losing weight and help keep the weight off. And, you know, I have had it actually just like, it was actually just after, like, I started falling in that trap myself, you know, last year when I made that video. I turned back around and I was like, okay, let me start having some of these chips again. Let me start having this again. But I'll limit myself. And I was good with limiting myself. Until I understood I wasn't limiting myself. And I was back up to 270 pounds. And it was like, oh, if I keep on this path as I am, I'm going to be 300 plus pounds again in no time. So now, when I do, like I said, when I do go to get groceries, I limit myself to how much of a certain thing I'm allowed to get. I may falter on it here and there just because I'm a glutton. Plain and simple, I'm a glutton at times. But I do hold myself to that standard pretty hard. But looping back around to it, you know, like I said, I do that workout with Ring Fit. The Ring Fit workout works other portions of my body other than just my legs. I'm using my legs, and I'm going for running in place every other day for 3.5 miles. But I'm also, like, you can kind of tell in my shoulders here more or less than anything else, and even my arms for whenever they've been up. Like, I'm working other muscle groups than just my legs. I'm working chest muscles, abs, you know, glutes already in that mix. My arms, shoulder area. I'm working everything around me rather than just one specific area. So I probably put on some more muscle mass than I put fat back on in anything. At least I hope so. And then the other thing I should mention is something that I kind of have been struggling with and hate to bring up, but I also bring up for those of you that have also been curious about it on the journey. I still have a skin flap. Like, I'm not going to show it on camera because I can't show it on this platform without Big Brother YouTube stepping down on me. But like, I have a flap of loose skin that, you know, if nobody knew that I lost 100+ pounds over the course of a year, they would think that is fat. It's mostly loose skin. The loose skin takes a while to go away. It's still with me right now. Going off of a wise tale kind of thing, I've started using lotions that have shea butter in them to try and help lessen that, and I forget to do it every now and again. It does help to a degree, but it's not going to make it magically change overnight. The skin flap will still be there. You're still going to have to deal with that issue. And for the most part, that going away can take anywhere from like 7 years to a decade from what I read up on. So unless you take the time to get the surgery, and again, that's what the time I gave you, the time frame I gave you, will vary depending upon, you know, how much you lost. But there will be loose skin. There's just going to be loose skin there that unless you have the surgery to take care of it, it's just going to be with you for several years. Because your body can become elastic, but it's not like you know, a balloon where the moment you let everything out, it gets taut again. No. If you let it be full if you let your skin be full of crap for long enough, it's not gonna go taut again. You're still gonna be left with unsightly skin. So, I know it's kind of a weird video, but I wanted to update everybody out there kind of as how it's been going since I've been done dieting and everything. I mean, there have been bouts where I've gone on like mini week-long diets to kind of fix myself if I know I've gone on the wrong path with my food I've eaten. But outside of those, I don't think I've really stressed dieting at all, really. But I think I hopefully answered some questions some people might have about, you know, what if I diet? What happens? What should I look out for? You know, that original video, which I'll probably link in the description, along with this video, I think should help answer most of your questions. And I do want to add on to this that I'm no expert on this. I don't have a degree. I don't have anything that says I'm certified to talk about this. I have personal experience and nothing more. But the struggle of going through it does yield greater rewards. It does have some benefits down the line. Like, if it's still up here behind me, this Ring Fit footage, most of this is from when I've streamed the game for others to watch me play it. And I've had a couple personal health advisors. There's probably a better name for it. I don't know what it is right now. I've had a couple personal health advisors come in when I've been taking my pulse with the program, which is not accurate, I'll say. But when I've been taking my pulse, and they'll just say, and I say, oh man, I didn't even hit 120 BPMs. You know, that's not good. I'm not getting the same workout I used to, which will happen. But they say no. Like the most recent one I recall is 102. You know, like no, that's 102 is still pretty good. So I don't know. And the other and the worthwhile sacrifice at the end is, you know, if you do lose all that weight, you actually end up spending, you spend the time and you kind of lose the freedom to eat whatever you want. But what you get back from it is you're not spending as much on food. Like right now, if I go out and buy food for a week, if I buy food for a week with no other expenses calculated in, I currently spend about $65 on food for everything for a week. If you dial back the clock to what it was, you know, I'll say May 5th, 2019, I probably spent $120 for a week of food. Tells you that I was spending so much money on additional food. You know, I mean, you save a lot of money just by cutting out things you don't need. Like, doubling back on that again, I haven't had fast food. I had fast food once in the last 2-ish years. I've had fast food a single time. Disgusting. I used to live by that stuff. I used to revel in the day when I had enough extra money in my bank account to go out and get some Taco Bell. Now, disgusting. I actually do not like eating fast food anymore unless it's my only option. But with that, you don't eat fast food as much, you save money. You don't eat as much, you save money. You lose all the weight, and yes, you have to buy new clothes. Like right now, before I lost all my weight, I was wearing 3X, 4X shirts. This is a double X that's loose, and I have single X shirts in my closet, or regular extra large shirts in my closet that are a little tight, but they're not tight around my stomach area like it would be. They're tight around my chest area more than anything. And I still wear 36 size waist stuff. And why do I tell you all this? Because clothes that are what I was wearing, triple X, quadruple X, 48 size or 48 inch waist, all that stuff, that costs a lot more money if you have to replace it than it does to buy stuff if you have lost all the weight. Like, if I go out and buy a shirt now, it costs, like, if I buy a shirt now, unless I'm buying something hoity-toity, buying a shirt now costs me $13, where 2 years ago, if I bought a shirt, $17, sometimes $18. I don't know. I just give you the metrics because these are metrics I never considered before losing weight, and now that I realize it, you know, I've saved money just because I don't go out and eat. I don't go out and spend $8 to $12 on a meal. I don't go out and spend, or I don't go and buy, you know, an additional $20 to $30 of chips every week along with other sweets. When I buy stuff that's just food, when I buy just food, it's really just food I need to survive now, with a couple extra goodies hidden in there. Anyway, I started to ask you if you had questions and I went away from it, but I'm coming back to that. So if you've got questions about this, if you have questions about the process, about this, about anything, please ask them. And like I said, I'm no professional. I just have my experience to go by. You can ask me whatever questions you want about this. I'll answer them within the best of my abilities. If I don't feel comfortable answering that question, or I don't feel I can give you the best answer for it, I will tell you as such, flat as day. But thank you all for your time. And I guess all I can say is I'm going to hope that I can keep this train going, that I don't fall off this weight loss train I'm on at this point. I really hope I can keep on it and keep going forward with it, you know, losing, you know, bits and pieces here and kind of getting to a normal body lookout. And in the future, because when I made the first video on my weight loss process and this one, the world is still closed. The world's still closed up. I can't really with confidence go out and talk to a medical professional, and it's not an emergency for me to talk to a medical professional about this to find out how I've done. But maybe I'll make another video once I see a doctor to kind of get an overall look at myself and say, hey, I've lost all this weight. Did I do good? Have I gone too far? And I still have more to go. I'll probably make another update video on this. But like I said, I just wanted to put all this information out there that I knew, just so others can hopefully know what the after effect of losing weight is. So anyway, as I said, thank you for your time today. And if I have any more of these weight loss video updates, I'll try and title them accurately. Anyway, thanks for your time, everybody.